When your grandfather owned a Harley shop, your dad was an AMA U.S. Twin Sports champion as well as a national number flat tracker, and your sister is the first female ever to win a Progressive American flat track main event, it's all but a foregone conclusion that you've got motorcycling in your blood. But even if Cory Texter was basically born with a throttle in his hand, he's put in the hours, the sweat, and the hard work to, as he puts it, avoid getting a real job. Cory first rocketed up the American flat track ranks in 2008 and snatched 2 AFT Production Twins championships in 2019 and 2021. As his career progressed, though, Cory's passions extended beyond racing. He retired in 2022, then Cory earned his college degree. He tried his hand at writing for Cycle World, and he started the Tank Slappin' podcast. As if that weren't enough, he also founded Cory Texter Promotions, bringing flat track racing to a wider audience with the Mission Food CTR series and coaching the next generation of racers, including his social media famous son, Cruz. This is Cory Texter. I'm your host, Mark Long, and you're listening to Driven to Ride. All right, Cory Texter, you are on Driven to Ride. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's an honor. I love talking about racing, so this is cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, let's jump right into it. I'm excited to hear this in your own words. Kind of first off, what do most people know you for? Maybe what's your own claim to fame here?
Man, I'm I don't know, like a Swiss Army knife of anything to do with flat track racing, I guess. My dad, Randy Texter, was a national number rider during the famed Camel Pro days. He was a national number for 16 years, actually, which is really good run for a career at that level and that era. So Randy Texter is my dad. I'm kind of known, the budding joke is I'm Shayna's brother. My sister Shayna is a very accomplished motorcycle racer. She's been on Jay Leno. She's was a Red Bull sponsored athlete, and she's the winningest, or no, she's not anymore. She's the second winningest rider in American flat track singles history. She has a long list of accomplishments. As you can tell, I'm a proud brother. And then my son Cruz. Now I'm Cruz's dad. My son Cruz is a accomplished youth racer. I know that sounds crazy, but he's a young racer that has been racing all over the country the last few years. But as far as Cory himself goes, I'm a 2-time Production Twins American flat track champion. I am a promoter, race promoter. So now I do a lot of race promotions, and then have my own podcast, Tank Slappin' Podcast, and do a little bit of everything, man. Rider coaching, promotions. I've built resumes for riders. I've done anything I can do to make a living in the sport I love so much. I'm the race director for the Moto America Mini Cup Series. So I do a little bit of everything. I'm terrified of getting a real job, so I work really hard at. I never want to have a real job again.
There you go. Yeah, as someone who's never had a real job either, I can feel for that. Much
I had one. It's scary, man. Yeah, I used to stock the cooler at Wawa, the gas station, when I was in high school, man, and never want to do it again. So
that was it. It. So, yep. Well, yeah, I mean, you come from a very accomplished family, and I guess it's really no secret then how you got into motorcycles.
Yeah, so my family actually, we owned a Harley-Davidson dealership here in Pennsylvania. So my grandpa started the Harley-Davidson dealership. He was really good friends with Willie G. Davidson. They rode motorcycles together, man. So Grandpa Tex is a legend in his own right.
Yeah.
And then, we had that Harley-Davidson dealership. I grew up in the Harley shop, and my dad, Randy, was, like I said, he was a professional flat track and road racer. I just come from a long line of even racing in general. On my mom's side of the family, my grandpa, Glenn Fitzcharles, he's in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. So he's a well-accomplished car racer here in the East Coast.
Okay.
So
yeah,
just, man, I don't know what life even looks like without motorcycles. That's all I've ever done. It's just, yeah, it's literally, for me, it's like walking. Like that's all I've known is motorcycles.
Yeah, I think I read that you started like riding at the age of 4, so probably literally as early as you can remember.
Yeah, again, I don't remember exactly. I actually think I might have started riding when I was 4 years old, and just riding the P-Dub in the parking lot at the Harley shop, and just been heavily involved since I was young. Now, the crazy thing about all that is I didn't really start racing full time until I was like 14.
Okay.
I wasn't very good at riding. I wasn't a good rider until my teenage years when I really understood the work that it takes, especially for me to
Hmm.
get good at it. I didn't really race much. I played other sports, played ice hockey.
Okay.
I ran track, I wrestled, played soccer. I loved sports.
Yeah. Okay.
So I actually lived another life like when I was younger. I wasn't grinding it out like most of these pro riders do, like my son does all the way through. I was kind of did normal kid stuff, man. But motorcycles, like I said, it's always been a huge part of my life. I feel like I've had 5 or 6 lives already, man. Just the Harley Davidson life I've lived, and
Yeah.
I can go there. I can, Willie G, he recognizes me when I see him still. Like he's like, yeah, hey Cory, how are you? It's just a cool honor, and a lot of things I forget about my day to day life. I take for granted is just a long history I have with anything to do with motorcycles.
Yeah, well, that's super cool to kind of have this hereditary line of motorcycles and racing and kind of athletics, I guess, if you zoom out a little bit more from that. Um, so then, if you didn't kind of do a lot of racing in your teenage years, how did you kind of get into the flat track thing? Obviously, family being involved in it, but how did you personally kind of get back into it?
Yeah, so my parents got divorced when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I lived with my mom. So I would come up to my dad's house, and we would ride a little bit. Like
Hmm.
I'd ride in the grass, like in the parking lot, and I really liked it. Like I've always been a fan of like motocross, supercross,
Sure.
Carmichael, man, the old Troy Lee designs stickers they used to have, and like
Yeah.
Parts Unlimited and Tuckeraki, um, just a lot of that stuff. I was a big fan of it. But yeah, honestly, I tell people now I started racing kind of full time when Honda came out with their 450. 450. They came out with that in
Okay. Yeah.
2002, and Nikki Hayden was crushing it on that motorcycle in American Flat Track. And another local guy that I'm friends with now, Jake Johnson, they were riding these 450 Hondas, and it was really an iconic motorcycle that changed flat track. It doesn't get the praise it deserves, but my dad thought that was a cool motorcycle, which is ironic because we owned a Harley Davidson dealership, and
Sure.
he got that Honda. And yeah, I rode it, and I raced it, sorry, and I did pretty well. We live in a
Hmm.
really competitive area for flat track here in Pennsylvania, and I think I got fourth or fifth out of 16, 17 guys, my first ever race. And
Oh
he's
wow.
like he's like, wow, you did really good. He's like, let's come back, then let's go to this next track the next weekend. I might have got a second, and then
Hmm.
finally I won my first race, and he's like, hey, let's go to Daytona and see how we do against all the top riders. And I go to Daytona and I do well. And I guess just the passion and the success of it just kind of drew me into it. And while I was doing all that, my sister Shayna was watching. She wasn't even racing at first.
Oh really? Okay.
We had that one of the most talented riders I've ever seen in my life, and she's sitting there on the sideline. She's like, I'd like to try it. And
Man.
she tried it, and yeah, started winning right away. And it's crazy, crazy journey looking back at it. Seems like forever ago.
Yeah. Well, there obviously then there is some natural talent there if you just kind of picked it up and were good at it, and then you just kind of see how far it takes you,
Yeah.
right?
I'm competitive, so I don't have that natural ability, but I'm a really, really competitive person. Whether it's
Okay.
I hear people say that in podcasts a lot. They're like, "Yeah, so and so is really competitive." I'm stupid competitive. So I really just the challenge of flat track drew me into it.
Okay.
I'm pretty good. Sounds so arrogant, but I'm pretty good at a
No
lot of
worries.
random stuff.
Sure.
But flat track for me always it didn't come easy. It was always very, very challenging for me.
Interesting.
So it took me a lot of work to get where I ended up being in the sport. It was a lot of hard work. So I have some natural ability, but not as much as like somebody like my son or my sister. I'm the least talented texter out of all of them. It took me a lot of work.
Well, I've from what I read, yeah, you pretty much outwork a lot of folks, and read something about how you really took physical fitness seriously to help you kind of become a better racer. Did that really provide a huge advantage? You think?
Yeah, I think like nowadays everybody, all the top riders, they're all in really good shape.
Hmm.
It's just kind of what you do as a professional racer. But when I was turning pro, it wasn't as prominent. Like there were guys winning championships who weren't really even working out. Like they would ride their motorcycles and stuff, but
Sure. Yeah.
it became sort of my passion. I just was really into fitness. It's like, dude, I'm not as talented as these riders. So, and I kind of use the fitness aspect of what I did to keep me strong mentally. Like during the week, I knew
Sure.
how much
Yeah.
work I was putting in. I wasn't going to go to the race and get beat by that guy that sat on the couch all week. Like that was in my mentality. I'm not getting beat by this guy, dude. I'm not doing it. So in doing that, I became, yeah, I would say like really fit. I run half marathons.
Wow.
I've competed in triathlons. I've won,
Yeah.
some age group triathlons. We've bicycled the coast of Florida in 6 days. We've done some really cool, mentally challenging fitness things to use toward flat track racing. Now I'm 38 years old. I've had a lot of injuries.
Sure.
So I've been adjusting my fitness stuff every year. Always learning, always trying to be better. Retired now from racing, and people are like, "Why you still train so hard?" I'm like, "Dude, it's something I love to do." I have really bad anxieties and
Okay.
OCD I was diagnosed with when I was younger, and it's kind of like my medicine for me.
Yeah,
Instead
for
of
sure.
taking pills and popping medicine, for me, it's my stress reliever is working out. So it's kind of just something I really enjoy doing.
Yeah, movement is medicine for sure, man. And
Yes.
all that hard work, like you said, to kind of skip ahead a little bit, got you two championship titles. What was it like that first time winning that the championship?
It was a dream come true. I mean, for me, like I said, I never thought there was a time frame when I never thought I'd win a pro race or especially win a championship. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I grew up in the sport. Like I was going to
Hmm.
the races with my dad. So for me, it was just it just meant everything. It was just a goal of mine that I always wanted to do it. And I just never thought I'd get to that level. And started creeping closer and closer. I was on the podium at Springfield Mile, Arizona Mile with some of the best to ever do it. And I
Yeah.
knew I was right there and got the first one. And then it kind of opened up the floodgates a little bit. Like I only won one more title after that, but I was runner up twice additionally. And
Okay.
I was always in the fight after that. I learned how to win. Like there's a lot of guys who are they're good riders, and then there's guys who are good racers, and then
Oh,
there's
okay.
guys who are good racers that know how to win. There's so many things that you just don't realize what it takes until you do it, until you
Hmm.
accomplish it. And there's a certain art in winning. There's a certain poise needed to go out and win races at the top level. And that's something that took me a while to learn. And then once I learned it was just a real confident feeling just to go out and know how to control the race, know how to get good starts, and just kind of control the race. I mean, it's such a simple thing when you break it down. There's a green light to start the race, and there's a checkered flag. None of the other stuff in the middle matters at all. Just got to figure out a way to get to the checkered flag before everybody else does. And you don't always have to be the fastest guy to do that. And I learned how to kind of break that down and get the job done.
Interesting. Okay. We've had a couple of flat track folks on the show before, but I'd love to hear kind of from your perspective what makes flat track racing such a unique sport, because it is an amazing thing to watch. It has to be even more amazing to actually do it. But tell me kind of what makes it unique among the kind of other racing disciplines in the motorcycle world, and maybe if you want, share a couple of things that you learned to control the race and how to win races.
Yeah, I think flat track is so special. A lot of it is nostalgia for a lot of people. Like their parents
Okay.
either raced or watched it. I mean, On Any Sunday is one of the most iconic motorcycling films of all time, and
Right.
it's flat track. So before motocross and road racing, flat track is it's the original extreme sport here in America. So a lot of nostalgia. The racing action is really good. I think part of that is you can see the whole track. It's usually right in front of you when you're in the bleachers. Whereas
Hmm.
in road racing and motocross, amazing sports, but from a spectator standpoint, you can only see so much. Where I've always felt like watching those races, besides the sights and the sounds and the smells, it's fine watching it on TV. Where flat track, the action is so close, and
Yeah.
it's such a hard sport to win. Like it's the easiest one to ride. I think like going in a circle, it's easy to do that. But to be
Sure.
great at it, it's the hardest sport because it's so simple. Um, One bad start on a track where 80 guys are separated by half a second is just, you're done. Like, no matter how good you are. Where in motocross, you have 30 minutes plus two and multiple lines and ruts, and you have tons of time to make your way to the front. And road racing as well. There's so many corners and braking markers, and uh, flat track, it just happens quick. It's just it's a really fun sport to watch for spectators. The bikes are loud. It's the dirt. It's just good old racing. You don't have to dress nice. You just come out to the dirt tracks. It's just blue collar, and the fans really like it. And we're all really approachable too. Like the racers in flat track, it's just normal people. Like
Yeah.
we're just normal people that we can interact with the fans. A lot of them go out and have a beer with them afterwards, and
Oh, no way.
yeah, like it's pretty cool in that regard. I've met a lot of my friends because they were initially fans of the sport. So it's really cool, and we're all, yeah, I'd say it's a humble sport for a lot of us. Yeah, and then you mentioned, like I said, just learning how to win in it. It's just I get really good hole shots. And that's a huge part of this sport that people don't really put that much emphasis on. Like obviously
Okay.
we got to get a good start. It's like, no, you have to get a good start. So
Yeah.
that's something I put so much emphasis on, and without giving, because I coach a lot of riders as well. I coach Trent Lowe, who just won the Springfield Mile this year, which is the biggest
Nice.
event of the year. Trent Lowe
Yeah.
won it. He's a kid I coach, and
Sick.
I've coached up a couple kids who have won the AMA Horizon Award. Evan Renshaw, Bodie Page just won the Horizon Award this year, and they're kids that have lived with me and my wife, and I've trained them. I trained my son Cruz, and without giving away too much info, I the biggest thing I tell the kids is go out there, focus on the whole shot. The rest of the race is all instincts. It's just a circle. Like, you got to trust your instincts in this sport and not overthink what you're doing. And that's what a lot of kids do. They overthink. You got to make it so natural and do so much work where it's instincts.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's hard to explain exactly
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean, but yeah.
Well, I mean, like if you're doing, you're doing a left turn at what, 140, 130 miles an hour, and there are guys or gals for that matter, like inches from you. If you start to overthink that, you're going to freak out, right? Like
Yeah.
I have to imagine you just have to think about exactly what's right in front of you. That's like, you can't think about what else is going on. You kind of have to be locked in.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably pretty similar to Steph Curry shooting a three-pointer or
Sure.
Peyton Manning throwing the football. You just got to trust your instincts. And like just a lot of hard work pays off. Like there's average riders who ride all the time and they train and they work hard who end up winning pro races. Now,
Mhm.
granted, like there is some talent. So if you can find a talented kid that works really hard, it's an unbeatable combination. There really aren't many out there because most of the talented people don't think they have to work hard. And then you have the hardworking kids who aren't good. I mean, you have a talented, hardworking kid. You get a kid like Bodie Page, the kid I coach, who he just won the Horizon Award this year in flat track and road racing. So he
Mhm.
won the top level amateur in the country in two disciplines. That'd be like winning the Heisman in college football and the D1 basketball player of the year.
Yeah, that's pretty
You know what I
wild.
mean? Which Allen Iverson, I'm a big Allen Iverson fan. He was one of the top rated prospects in high school in both sports. I don't know if you
Oh, I
you
didn't
knew
know that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he was
wild.
like
Yeah.
they say he was better at football than he was basketball, and ended up playing basketball. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Major
pretty cool.
NBA star. Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
I'm from
Um,
Philadelphia, so Sixers guy.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So that's Sixers and then
Eagles,
Flyers,
yeah, Flyers,
Eagles,
Eagles, and
Flyers.
and Phillies. Yep.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's super cool. So,
Yeah.
well, talking about not necessarily multiple sports, but going back to the family thing, one thing I thought was super cool that you and your sister won a race on the same day, and I think you're still the only folks to do that.
So I don't know if anyone else has done it, but yeah, we did it. I think we did it like maybe two or three times.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, we did it. The first one was in Texas, I think, Texas Motor Speedway, and then her husband got second. So
Huh.
there was three classes. We both won, And then Breyer ended up getting second, I think, which would have been sick if we all three won.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I want to say, I'm certain we won Volusia the one year too in Florida, Barberville Speedway. I know. Yeah, I think Breyer got second again in that one. I think, granted, he's won more races than both of us, but I guess that's right. We've won.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Obviously in the way I talk about my sister, I'm a huge fan. And, I actually quit racing for 2 years when my dad passed away. We didn't have money to race. So I was like just helping Shayna get to the track. I was trying to make money and give her money to get to the track. And she won her first race in 2011. She was the first female to ever win in the pro level. And that kind of put us back on the map. And it opened up a lot of opportunities for me. Like even as Shayna's brother, it's like, we can't get Shayna, but we'll get her brother, it was like
work, I guess.
A pity ride. Yeah. But it ended up paying off with, down the road. But no, I'm a huge fan of my sister and just all my friends. Really. I root them on, and, I'm a real loyal brother and friend, and I want what's best for, just everybody I love and my family and people I support. So it was a really cool moment. I think at the time we kind of took it for granted. You sort of, I think in the moment, everything's kind of taken for granted a little bit, but
sure.
Yeah, cool memory, a tribute to my dad for all the work he put in, and to have his 2 kids win on the same day. He wasn't able to be there, obviously. So I'm sure,
but still,
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Something to be proud of for sure.
Something we'll look back on down the road more.
Do you guys ever kind of like, I know, do you guys ever compete like kind of like ad hoc or like like for lack of a better term, like an exhibition race, like if you guys are at the same track or something to do a little interfamily competition?
No, we haven't yet. Maybe some throwback races in the future would be cool. She just became a mom just 2 months ago, a month ago.
Oh, cool.
Ago. Yeah. So she became a mom. Yeah. I mean, we've raced each other a little bit growing up.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of tried to stay in separate classes a little bit.
Sure.
The 1 year in 2018, the year before I won my first title, I rode like the 450 singles class, and she kind of whooped my butt. Like she was a factory Husqvarna rider that year, and she beat me in one races a lot more than I beat her that season. Sure. And then we've raced each other a few times, but there's no bad blood really. She would get more mad than I would, honestly. If she beat me, it's, I've had other pro riders, like their way of throwing shade at me is, oh, that's the guy that gets beat by his sister. I'm like, dude, she beats you too. I'd rather get beat by my sister than somebody else's sister. So
yeah, right. Well, let's talk about your kind of pivot then from racing and then retiring from that to promoting. Was it kind of a natural progression that you wanted to start doing promoting and working that side of things?
Not really, man. I was racing still when I started promoting races. So
oh, no way.
Yeah, I was still a racer. Actually, my first ever event I did was in 2019, which is the year I won my first title. So I promoted my first race that year. The Winter Throwdown is our big event every year. It's
okay.
The one coming up this January. It's our 8th year for the Winter Throwdown. It's 800 entries. I think it's the biggest flat track race in the world as far as entries go. It's massive. So no, I honestly, I was going to a lot of races and I would kind of complain here or there, just like, why are we getting done so late? Why is it done this way? Without any desire to promote, I was just kind of like, I don't know, whining, I guess I would say. And one of the track owners was how do you word it? He was like, why don't you promote your own race? And I was like, okay, bet.
Yeah. So if you're complaining, why don't you do it yourself kind of thing?
Yeah, right? Be proactive. Yeah. And it never occurred to me. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll have a stab at it. And the first year was good, but I look back now, it's like, dude, I can't believe, I don't know how we made it that first year. Like how far along we've come as a company now. Like we have,
sure.
I have a team of 20 people that help me do this. So no, I didn't plan on it, but like I said, I joke around. I say I'm a promoter that was good at racing. Like I'm natural at this part of the industry is the promotions and the podcasts and marketing. And I always had to market myself well because I wasn't good at racing. My results weren't getting me sponsors, so I had to learn how to, market myself and MySpace and Xanga and all the old
Oh
social
man,
media sites.
you're going
I was
back
the
in the
first
day.
one to do all that stuff, man. And
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I had to go racing. My results weren't good, so um, yeah. Like I said, I joke around. I'm a promoter that used to race, but I've won 2 championships. So yeah, no, it's cool. I'm one of the few racers as well that has a college degree. So
Oh,
I have
okay.
a business studies degree, and yeah, I did all that stuff because I wasn't that good at racing. uh, um, so it's been cool. It hasn't been it wasn't a natural transition, but it was something I just started doing, and it just become a thing.
Yeah.
We do it every year. So
Yeah. No, that's crazy. I mean, I haven't heard the words MySpace and Zanga in probably like 10 years. So
yeah,
that's throwing it
yeah,
back, man. That's like the
yep.
first social media, doing blogs and that kind of stuff. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I had Facebook back when you had to have a college email. Like you couldn't have
oh yeah.
Facebook. Yeah, you had to have a college email to sign up for Facebook.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time.
Well, I have to imagine being a racer too, kind of like you mentioned, where it's like, well, why do they do it this way? This is like, I would do it a different way kind of thing. Being a racer probably gives you, like you said, kind of an advantage of maybe how to put things together that are good for the fans, but also good for the racers and people that want to race. You went from that kind of first year of promoting and not knowing maybe what you were doing initially to having a team of 20 people. And now you've got the Mission Food CTR Flat Track Series. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we were doing one race per year, the Winter Throwdown, and then it
Yeah.
became something that it was time to do another event. So we started doing 2 events per year. And then last year, I have a really good partnership with Mission Foods.
Hmm.
For anybody listening, so Mission Foods does so much for so many different sports in this game, disciplines. I should say. So have a really good partnership with Mission Foods, and we put together an amateur flat track series, and
Hmm.
it's been amazing. Like having their support and having a company as big as Mission Foods investing back in the amateur flat track, it
Yeah.
makes it all possible for us to do what we're doing in terms of all these events now. So now for next year, we're doing the Winter Throwdown, which is in January. It's an AMA major event,
Hmm.
championship weekend. And then we're doing 7 showcase rounds with American Flat Track, the professional series. So it's a kind of like the combines they have in Moto,
Hmm.
Supercross next. We're trying to bridge that gap from amateur to pro racing in flat track. There's been a big disconnect from the pro series to amateur promoters, and I'm trying to work with them to build a kind of a pipeline up to the pro series so we can try to help them increase their entries, increase the participation by having these youth riders, these amateur riders at their events the same weekend that they're having their own pro events.
Mm, okay.
So that's something I'm taking a lot of pride in because I really want to just kind of rebound this sport a little bit and get it to where it deserves to be in terms of in comparison to road racing and moto. And man, the hair scramble scene's been taken off. GNCCs
Yeah.
it's just packed and so successful. And there's so much beauty in our sport, and just doing what I can to get it back to where
Yeah. To build the
be
sport
on
up.
any
Yeah.
Sunday days, man. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
trying to grow it back.
Well, I think one of the big things you're doing is like, yeah, we've talked about it or mentioned it a couple of times is, supporting your son Cruz and having him blow up on social media and win. I mean, 8 championships. You said,
Yeah, he's got 6 national titles on dirt, and he's got 2 on pavement. So
man,
yeah, 2 Moto America championships, like the national finals, and then 6 on the dirt. So
did he come to you and say like, I want to ride like you, Dad, or did you kind of get him a PW like you were saying and just say, try this out and see how it went? How did he get started?
man, the what's available now for kids, they can start like when they're 9 months old on a strider with a rocking base. I mean, that's
That's
you
insane.
got them a strider with a rocking base,
Yeah.
and then you take the strider. It's the push bike. The strider is an amazing bike for kids to learn balance and learn how to ride. And
Mm.
He started on the Strider and then he moved over to the Stasic, which is the little e-bike. They have
Mm-hmm.
12, 16-inch, 20-inch Stasics, and he learned how to ride the e-bike. And then we put him on the PW, the
Mm-hmm.
Yamaha that it's been around since like 1982. That bike's been
Yeah,
around
man.
forever. Started on the P-Dub, and then we put him on the Cobra, and uh, yeah, no, he didn't really, he couldn't even talk when I got him on bike, so he didn't really tell me anything.
That's wild.
Yeah, we just kind of put him on him. It was like we were always going to the track, and I was always training and
Yeah.
riding, and we'd always throw his little bike in and let him rip around the pits, and he's just around a lot of really good pro riders all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's natural for him to, he's around Briar Bauman and Cody Cobb and Bodie Page and all these top riders. He just has no idea. To him, it's just his Uncle Briar, but Briar's the best in the world at what he does. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he doesn't want to ride like me. He likes Briar. He wants to ride like his Uncle Briar, and his favorite rider is Bodie, the kid I
Oh,
trained
cool.
from Australia, Bodie Page. He does
Mm-hmm.
road racing at a high level and flat track. And Cruz is kind of moving toward road racing a bit more in the last half a year. Still
Cool.
going to do flat track, and that's our heritage. And but he's really, really kind of liking the road racing side of things. He'll watch MotoGP, and he sees some of the guys' houses and cars and how successful they are. It's such a dream chaser for a kid like
Sure.
him. Yeah, he's does he want to drive a Toyota Tacoma like his uncle, or does he want to drive and that level is almost out of reach for everybody in the world.
Oh,
Like
for
you gotta,
sure.
it's a
Yeah.
lot of hard work, but most kids here in America don't realize the top MotoGP riders are, I mean, they're more famous than like Tom Brady is here, like over in Europe.
Oh,
Like
for
Marc
sure. Yeah.
Marquez and
Yeah.
Rossi, they don't realize how big road racing is overseas. So yeah, he doesn't come to me. I mean, now he does, like, hey, let's go ride. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I said, he was too young when we put him on the bike. Now I have I have a younger son. He's a year and a half. His name's Bo, and he will go grab his Strider and walk it over to me and wants to ride.
Oh, man.
He's more passionate about riding than Cruz ever was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of interesting. We'll see where that goes. But
Yeah.
it's been fun.
Yeah. I'm curious to know as a dad, when I have to imagine when you're out there riding, you're in control, you're kind of going with your instincts, and you might have some close calls and stuff like that, or, unfortunately get injured or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it different, like watching your son race where like you just have to send him out and hope for the best?
Yeah, it's terrifying. Like, dude, I'd rather fly an airplane than be be a passenger most of the time.
Sure.
But no, I mean, the only thing you can do, and something I'm really proud of with Cruz, is he's such a calculated, smart. His racecraft is just, it blows my mind. Like the way he works through lap traffic, the way he just thinks. He's very methodical in his racecraft. And I may be biased because I'm his dad, but man, I've never seen that kind of racecraft from a kid his age. And sometimes it's frustrating because I want him to be a little bit more sendy. Like, dude, like go out and just ride.
Yeah, just go for it.
Sometimes he'll do just enough to win the race. Like like, buddy, why didn't you go faster? He's like, I didn't need to. I'm like, he literally thinks about this stuff when he's out there. So he's really smart. We've coached him well to make good decisions. He's sponsored by Rye Helmets, all the best safety gear, and just give him good motorcycles, teach him common sense, teach him that, the results right now, like we want to win, but it's not that important right now. Like you want to learn the racecraft, you want to get your technique pretty well, and just take the pressure off him a little bit. Like,
at the end of the day, it's supposed to be fun, right? You're supposed to have fun. And if it's not fun, then what are you doing? Right. So
it's gotta be fun. And like, people are like, man, you're going to burn him out. I'm like, dude, like, to be at the level he's at, you have to put that time in on the bike. And if he decided he didn't want to do it, cool. Like, that's fine. Like, we won't do it then. We'll go do something else. But if we're going to do it, I want him to put the effort in and put the work in, because if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And he's real dedicated. People see the results, but they don't see the hours per week that he puts in riding.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
and even training, he started training. He runs. He works out a little bit, like nothing crazy. Like, I don't want him to be little.
Not like
You ever
doing
see
200-pound deadlifts or whatever.
Yeah, you ever see the little Hercules kid from back in the day? He had like the
Yeah,
long
yeah,
hair.
yeah.
We don't need none of that, but I just want him to understand hard work. Like for him too, he's grown up. Like people will say, like, he's had it easy. He's grown up with the Texters. His dad is Cory, and
Hmm.
I don't want him to see the easy path. So I make things challenging for him because I want
Sure.
him to appreciate what he has, and I want him to understand what hard work looks like. I don't want him to get things because of and you could ask him, hey, it's cool you have a lot of followers, and he'll be like, he'll tell you followers don't make you fast. So it's proper coaching, man. You just got to keep things in perspective,
Yeah.
and when when he gets pissy or moody or he has a bad race or even when he
Yeah.
has a good race, just teaching them how to handle those moments, like um,
Yeah. That's a good point.
not
Yeah.
being over happy, not being too upset, just enjoying it, but understanding the bigger picture is something that a lot of parents they struggle with coaching their
Oh,
kids.
really?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, humility's got to be as much of an important thing as learning how to take a loss because,
yeah,
especially at that age, I mean, it's kids don't know any better and they learn from by example. So
yeah.
that's got to be important. If somebody wanted to like get their kids into motorcycling, obviously, you come from a long line of it. How would you kind of recommend getting somebody like kid into racing or just riding in general, and maybe racing from there if they show an interest?
Yeah, I think again without giving too many secrets away.
Sure, sure,
No,
yeah,
I A rising tide raises all ships, man, in this sport. Like the more kids we get out there riding, the
yeah,
more motorcycles we sell, the more mainstream it becomes, and I want the sport to grow. So I think
agreed.
the roadmap I just laid out maybe 10 minutes ago, like get him a
Mm,
strider, get him or her a strider,
sure, yeah,
strider on the rocking base. You can get them at, man, I think you can get them at Target. They're readily available. Go support your
yeah,
local motorcycle shop. That's the best way to do it. Go there and tell them that you want to order a strider. And if they don't have them there at the dealership, they can get them in Parts Unlimited. They can get
mm,
them out of the catalog. Support your local dealer because if dealerships go away, I don't know what we're going to do as an industry
yeah, for
goes. So
sure.
we go support dealerships. So many people are so quick to buy on Amazon and spend the extra $10. Go support your local dealership. Get them a strider, and then him or her. I should got to keep saying that him or
That's
her. I have a sister that's very
right,
accomplished. So
right, yeah,
get him or her a strider, then get him or her a Stasic, and
hmm,
then the P Dub. The P Dub, get them on a P Dub.
hmm.
One thing I'll say too is avoid training wheels. I'm not a training wheels
Oh, no
guy.
way.
If
Okay,
your son or daughter needs training wheels, you're pushing them along too far. Cruz was a little too small to ride his P Dub like when he was two. He
sure,
had the balance and the capabilities, but he was too small. And a lot of parents they move him from a Stasic without training wheels to a P Dub with training wheels just to get him on the bike. And it's like, dude, don't teach them how to ride with training wheels. That creates awful habits. Like
sure,
get them going on a bicycle or a Stasic, then put them on a dirt bike. Don't rely on the training wheels. So, Cruz has never had a set of training wheels in his life.
yeah,
We're very patient. And every kid or daughter, son or daughter is different depending on how big they are. Some kids are
yeah,
really small. If they're really small, because you can start racing when you're 4. If they're too small, wait till they're 5. Like, you're not going to set the world on fire as a 4-year-old regardless. So be patient. Don't put your kid out on motorcycles that they're not capable of riding yet. As good as Cruz is, I had him on a Cobra when he was 4, but I
hmm.
didn't let him race it until he was 5. I
Oh,
kept him on
okay,
that Cobra a whole year, just practicing in the backyard, then going to track days, easing into it. Same thing when he started riding a 65 last year.
mm,
He was I got it for him when he was 6. Kind of sat in my garage for 2, 3 months, and then we just eased into it. I just slowly teaching him, and then
slow and steady, yeah,
everybody wants to put their kid on these motorcycles that are just way too big, way too powerful. They don't have the skill set to ride them. Like if they're not riding the previous bike at 90% or more, they're not ready. don't jump them completely. So that's, once you get past the P-dub, the roadmap it gets complicated. There's so many different ways you can go.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But as far as starting, the Strider, Stasic, P-dub is the best roadmap, in
Yeah.
my
No, I love it.
opinion. It's a bulletproof roadmap to get your son or daughter involved. I mean, it's kind of funny. He was riding his Stasic, like ripping a Stasic before he rode a bicycle.
Yeah.
I remember teaching him how to ride a bicycle, and he didn't get it. He's like, I gotta push the pedals. This is lame. Like, he
Not
was
doing
riding
this.
a motorcycle before he was riding a bicycle.
That's sick. Yeah.
It took him a while to like want to ride a bicycle because it was work that his little legs, they couldn't pedal. It took a while
Yeah.
to do,
Yeah.
and things change every year, man. Like I said, like with all these e-bikes and
Oh, the technology is insane. Yeah.
yeah, it's insane. It could very well change. And even in road racing now, you have the Ovales. Like it's a road race chassis, like mini bike that they can ride. And it's just, man, kids have it made right now just with the what's readily available to them. Like when I was younger, you just had the P-dub. Like so now you can start so young. It's pretty cool to see. And it'll be cool to see where these, like, I call them the Strider kids, like how good they're going to be when they get to that pro level, because they've had a base since they were a year old. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, something that you enjoy kind of in addition to riding is talking about riding and racing and some hot takes of yourself on the Tank Slapping podcast. I mean, what made you want to start a podcast in the first place?
Man, I don't know. It's been a while. So I started
You've been doing it for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think when we started that. Definitely I think it was 2019. Again, that was like a big year for me. I started
for sure.
a podcast, and then I won my first title. I just, like you mentioned, I love talking about racing. And we started doing it, interviewing like legends of the sport. So we would do like Kenny Roberts, Dave Despain, Wayne Rainey, Jay Springsteen, Scott Parker. We've had Pastrana on, Ryan Stipes. Yeah, just anybody who's anybody, dude. We've been lucky and grateful to have them on our podcast. We don't really do interviews like that anymore. It was really hectic, as you know, as a podcast guy, trying to get guests to come on.
Sure. Scheduling can be rough. Yeah.
And linking up the schedules. But we did that. And then now we kind of just do weekly chatter about the sport. We just talk about off season, schedule announcements, banter. The podcast thing for me, it was cool. It became too much like a job though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it got, getting sponsors is anybody's goal, and getting things paid for it in this podcast world is big. But then it just became like, I got to log in and I got to do the podcast. And I actually took probably 4 or 5 months away from it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, like we stopped doing it because it was just it just became a job, and it wasn't fun then. So, we had Patreon, which we had probably 150 people on Patreon. We were making, dude, it was like, it was successful and it was good. Anybody should want that, but it became like overwhelming and it became a job. And
yeah. Well, and you're not exactly sitting around just only doing a podcast either. So
yeah, so now I've scaled back. I brought in one of my long time buddies, and Scotty Taylor, who has a YouTube channel, and now we just genuinely talk about the sport, and we just bench race and have fun. And if people listen to it, cool. Like, I used to grind out listeners, sharing all this stuff, making the reels, and it just became, too much work with cruise racing and my race promotions. And then I'm, being a husband and coaching.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
It just became too much. It was too much for me. So we still do the podcast. It still does very, very well. Since we've started, we've had over 1 million listeners across the 3 platforms.
Nice.
We've done very, very well with listeners. But now I just we do it, we post it. My wife will make one graphic announcing the show. We
Yeah.
share it a couple times, then we move on to the next. But I just like it. I like sharing my opinion. We're kind of like the first take of flat track.
Nice.
Undisputed. You know any of those shows like Skip Bayless or
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So we, with that being said, I'm really respectful of my peers. Like
Oh, sure.
I try to give them all the benefit of the doubt. But hey, if they're being lazy, they're not putting the work in, I call them out on it. So, but it's fun. I'm a podcast fan. I listen to Joe Rogan. I listen to Theo Vaughn. Any
Sure.
racing podcast I can get. Really like all that. Pulp MX. I really like Pulp MX, man. I've always enjoyed Steve's podcast. It's entertaining. And that's kind of what ours is. It's PG-13. I've had people, I tell them not to listen to it with their grandma in the car going to church on Sunday.
Right.
It's not like provocative, but we curse in it. And it's just like
Sure.
barroom chatter with my buddies, man.
Yeah. Just having fun. Like you said, having fun. And that's the point. Yeah.
That's me. Like, that's my personality. If you want to know what C-Tex is like as a person away from the track and out of my leathers and helmet, it's kind of the vibes on the pod. Like, just having fun, being myself. If you don't like it, you don't have to click that play button. It's an option. You don't have to click it, guys. People leave me bad reviews. Oh, he curses. I'm like, it says I curse in the description, and it says you don't have to click it, man. Like, there's other options out there for you.
Right.
You don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, you don't have to listen.
But guess what? They usually keep clicking it, dude. So it must be fine. It must be good if they keep.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. So, kind of last question to wrap it all up. I mean, you've lived your whole life in the motorcycle world and specifically like the flat track world. And you're still in it with promoting and races, coaching and teaching your sons and doing the podcast. What about motorcycles after all this time is still doing it for you?
Man, I should give some insightful, positive answer here. Right?
Not required. You could just say it's fun and that's all. I mean, that'd be good enough for me.
Yeah. Honestly, just trying to create a future for my family and friends and my son. Like I have a college degree. I joke around. Like if it doesn't make sense at some point, I'll go get a job. I'll go work somewhere.
Sure.
But yeah, I love racing. I love, there was a time when I was that little kid at the fence watching Ricky Graham and Scott Parker and Chris Carr do their thing. And that love is always in me. It's always there, even when I'm frustrated. And, because eventually motorcycling does change when it becomes a job. It really does. Like the passions, it doesn't go away, but it changes. So when you're racing for a job, that perspective does change for everybody. I don't care what any top level rider tells you otherwise. You really look at it differently. So for me, just keeping things fresh, the challenges of promoting, coaching, setting goals. That's really what keeps me going.
I think that's deep and insightful. You did it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I love it. If I didn't love it, like I said, I would definitely be doing something else. My son loves it. My sister's done it. My dad's did it. And I just have a lot of family and friends that I feel like I need to keep doing what I'm doing to create opportunities for the people I love. So work really hard for them and work hard for my family and the whole entire flat track discipline.
Well, I think that's a good note to end on. And Cory, thank you so much for spending some time with us, and can't wait to do it again. Before we sign off, though, where can people find out more about you, learn about some of the racing that you're promoting? Where can they find Tank Slapping Podcast? Tell me everything.
Yeah, well, man, it's an honor. Thank you for having me on your show. You've had some really good. I've seen your guest list. There's some really cool people and some cool guests. So it's an honor to be on here. I'm grateful for the opportunity. And then, I'm easy to find. Just Cory Texter Promotions. Really pushing my race promotions. I have Winter Throwdown coming up in Callahan, Florida, January 15th to 17th is the famed Winter Throwdown. It's such a huge event now for flat track racing. So check that out. Look us up online. My son is Cory Texter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and then just support the sport in general. Anybody that races flat track, follow their pages. share their content. My brother-in-law, Briar Bauman, he's one of the best in the game right now doing it. And we're just, we love turning left, man. It's what we do. So.
There you go. Well, thank you again, Cory. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Driven to Ride. Interact with us and check out full unedited conversations, photos, interviews, video interviews, plus other goodies on YouTube or Instagram at Driven to Ride Podcast. Or you can check us out at driventoridepodcast.com. And make sure you leave us a rating and review from wherever you get your podcasts, too. If you have an idea for an episode or a guest, or you want to invite us out on an adventure, email us, hello@driventoridepodcast.com. Driven to Ride is wholly owned by Flint Rock LLC, made possible with help from Matthew Miles, and written, hosted, and produced by me, Mark Long. We'll see you out there.